Hey guys, welcome back to the Western Vocal channel of SIFF Young Artiste, where we nurture the artist in you. I'm Anirudh, and welcome back to episode number 13 of our weekly live series that is Feedback Fridays, that we are live every Friday at 5 p.m. on. And again, on popular demand, we have Angad, who's also our guitar teacher at SIFF Young Artiste, and he was there last week and we got a great response, so we thought we'll bring him along for another episode. Thank you, Angad, for making the time to come here and be with us. So if you're joining us for the first time, this is a weekly live series that we do where students and people from our community send across snippets of them singing, and then we give some live review and feedback to help you become a better singer. So that's pretty much it. So without further ado, let's dive right into today's 5 submissions. Okay. First is Giri Laer from Navi Mumbai, Maharashtra. And forgive us if we pronounce any of your names wrong, guys. So, okay. Ready, Angad?
Yes.
Let's take a listen. So, this is about 2.5 minutes long. We're going to play about a minute or so of it.
Hello, my name is Giri Laer and today I am going to sing Hansi Ban Gaye. मैं जाने वार दूं, हर जीत भी हार दूं, कीमत हो कोई तुझे बेइंतहा प्यार दूं, मैं जाने वार दूं, हर जीत भी हार दूं, कीमत हो कोई तुझे बेइंतहा प्यार दूं, सारी हदें मेरी अब मैंने तोड़ दी कर मुझे पता, आवारगी बन गए, हाँ हंसी बन गए, हाँ नमी बन गए, तुम मेरे आसमां मेरी ज़मीं बन गए, ओ.
That was about 1 minute 14 seconds. Thank you, Gargi, for sending that across. So let's start off with, what do you think, Angad?
मजा आ गया यार. I think this was very nice. I think जो voice में power और projection का जो हम tip देते रहते हैं, that she's done it really well. And मतलब जो song भी इन्होंने गाया है उनकी आवाज़ पे suit कर रहा है. I really like to listen to this. I think मतलब it was very pleasing. I really enjoyed this. पूरा गाने में खो के she was there, you know, she was in the moment. So I really liked that. I think the only thing I would have liked is कि वो track में गाती तो और मजा आता. But really there's, I mean, मेरी तरफ से तो कुछ feedback नहीं था. I just 10 on 10, you know, really loved it.
Nice. Good to hear. So, Angad is not someone who's very easy to please. So, 10 on 10 is great. Congratulations, Gargi. So, anyway, even I don't have too much of a feedback. Firstly, I loved this performance. The emotion was spot on. The song choice was spot on. I think you are a trained singer. At least you've had some formal training, because it shows in your voice, and it is very important to use all the techniques, right? So, as he mentioned, the song choice and your texture and the projection that you had and the enunciation of each line or each word, right? So that was pretty much spot on. And as he mentioned, a cappella itself sounded so good, and I would just wonder how it would be with a karaoke track, right? And I was snapping along to see, even without backing track, you were pretty much on beat, except just before the chorus, the pre-chorus part, I guess, of the song, you sort of jumped the beat. But apart from that, there's pretty much no other feedback per se to give, only suggestions. So please work with a metronome or a backing track so that your rhythm improves even more. And a couple of places I saw you do this after a line, and then you were swallowing. So that may be due to a lack of breath, and this was a slightly slower song with gaps in between. So you didn't have to have too much breath control, but even then, I did see you do that a couple of times. So for that, work on your breathing, strengthen it as much as possible, because maybe if you're singing a much faster number, you might have to, you might falter for breath, right? So just work on your breathing a little bit probably. Pitching was pretty much spot on. Work with metronome. Apart from that, your projection was really there. But in my honest opinion, I think this song was pretty easy for you to sing, just with how fluidly she was doing. She didn't strain. She didn't even blink once, right? So she
Yeah,
just did it. So it feels like this is a song that you have sung 1,000 times.
Favorite
What I
song.
would like you to do, just to challenge yourself, is to try maybe a few more versatile songs. Like maybe again take a song which has a very party vibe, like a Neha Kakkar song. See how that works. Maybe take a song which needs that more of a breathy, airy sound, like something like Shilpa Rao song, like all of these recent movies
yeah.
with Shah Rukh Khan. I don't know Hindi movies too well, but the songs as well. I'm not getting the names. What was the two movies recently where
Pathan, Jawan.
Pathan and Jawan. Yeah, these two movies, Shilpa Rao has, I think, sung all that Chaleya.
Chaleya wala. That was, I
And
think, Jawan.
another one, even in this thing, the previous movie that you
should we
Pathan.
check?
No. I think
One sec,
Pathan, the
let's
title
check.
track.
Pathan title track was Shilpa Rao. What? Chaleya song. Chaleya was her only. Which movie was it from though?
That's Jawan.
That is Jawan only,
Yeah,
no?
yeah, yeah.
Because even I was not sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Pathan, I think 2 tracks or something she sung. Both of them were mega hits, and I want you to try, or maybe even a song like U Anta Va Mava, right?
Oh yeah,
How
would
will
be
that,
interesting.
How will that breathy texture sound on you? And on the flip side, maybe take a Neha Kakkar song, or if you really want to challenge yourself, maybe take a Sunidhi Chauhan or a Shreya Ghoshal song, and see how that upper register projection works. Are you flipping to more of a sound, or na sort of a sound? Like, is it more projected and solid even there, or is it like thinning out? So all of these things can give you a better understanding of your own voice. So it's again a suggestion, nothing to take away. So I just have to see how much better you can get, and I'm very excited for your journey. You have a lovely voice, and thank you for sharing that. Anything else to add?
No, I'm just super happy to hear this. Yeah, Sachi mein.
Yeah. So nice. So now, guys, we're moving forward to Nidhi Pandey from Pratapgarh, UP. So let's take a listen to Nidhi. Again, this is a slightly longer video. We'll play about a minute of it.
तू ही रे तेरे बिना मैं कैसे जीऊं आजा रे यूं ही तड़पाना तू मुझको जान रे इन सांसों में बस जा तू चांद रे आजा दिल की जमीनों पे तू चाहता है अगर आके मुझसे मिल जा तू या फिर ऐसा कर धरती से मिला दे मुझको.
Okay, that was about 1 minute 8 seconds of Nidhi's snippet. So Angad, what do you have to say?
ऐसा लग रहा है, I feel like Nidhi is that kind of person जो she has a lot of things already मतलब sorted out. I really like her voice. I like that she's I guess song choice भी मुझे अच्छी लगी because it seems like she knows the song. मुझे पता है गाना कैसे जा रहा है, what किस टाइम पे कैसी हरकत आ रही है, what movements are going. It's just really nice. बस ऐसा लग रहा है कि I want to say to Nidhi कि keep doing what you're doing. It's a matter of कि कितनी बार आप practice करते हो. Say repetition is the key to success. I really believe in that. So I mean from if I had to give like a tip to you as an artist to an artist, vocalist का angle तो Anirudh is going to tell you right now, but just like a small encouragement from my end कि just keep doing it. अगर आप करते रहोगे तो I see a lot of potential in your voice. Like there are things to be fine and finely tuned out or ironed out जैसे कहते हैं ना, वो चीज़ें ठीक होंगी, लेकिन आपको बस गाते रहना है and don't hold yourself back. Because मुझे ऐसा लगा कि एक point पे she went off a little bit and उसके बाद she was either like वो question mark जो आ जाता है कभी कभी दिमाग में, and you hold yourself back a little bit and you like don't let go, जैसे एकदम सब कुछ छोड़ के हम खो के गाते हैं ना, that's the only thing I would like to tell Nidhi कि ऐसा आप करते रहो and you keep doing it, and I'm sure we'll hear
Yeah.
the finer points.
Yeah, so thanks Angad for that. I think Nidhi, you do have a nice voice. It has that again, that retro touch, as we've spoken, that higher register. But as Angad mentioned, I think you're a little too comfortable with the song, and the harkats, to be honest, you had a lot of control over them. But I guess to a point it felt you focused so much on that ornamentation that the main crux of it, right, which is the main sur of the song, it went flat at least in 2 or 3 places from what I heard. So instead of like hitting one note, maybe you were like 1 or 2 notes below that. So but whenever immediately after that you were doing that harkat and all of that, that was pretty much spot on. So I would say focus more on the basics, that is the sur and the tal. And I think the harkats, you've already got it. So that means you have a control of your voice, but you just need to practice a little bit more pitching. Are you hitting the right note? If you go off, are you hearing it? So all of these. So me and Angad decided after a previous session that at the end of this session, we'll just give a couple of tips and show on the apps on how you can sing. And I'll make Angad sing a simple sarigama, and so that you guys also understand how important it is to sing to a scale or Tanpura, right? Yeah. So that is one thing. Secondly, use a metronome, use the rhythm. So be on the beat, practice with that. That is one more. And the last thing which he also mentioned was that it did feel like there was not too much confidence. Your voice was thinning out, and especially when you went off a little, it was pretty evident that you sort of noticed it and then you lost that bit of confidence. So don't let that happen. Like, we are musicians, we might hear it, but most general audience, they feed off of confidence, right? Especially if you're performing, just make sure, even if you make a mistake, own it. And try to always not thin out your voice this much. I also felt the scale might have been a bit too high, not too much, but just a little high for you. Maybe try it in a slightly lower scale, maybe just 2 notes lower. See how that sounds if your voice opens up a little more. And maybe instead of singing throughout with the that sort of a texture, maybe bring it down, na, 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 na. Add a bit more body to it and see how it feels, right? Because throughout the song, yes, it did work, but these days, especially if you listen to any film music, versatility is key, and also that body is needed in the voice, that solid punch, as we call it. So just work on that a bit more, and I think you're well on your way. And of course, please do your warm-ups. There are a lot on our reels, on our Western Vocals Beginners course, the lip trills, the vocal fries, the yaya exercises, the yawn technique. There are a lot. So please go into that and have a look, and you can work with that. So thank you for sending that across. So now we have Shriyanshu Rajin from New Delhi. Let's take a listen.
दिल कहे कि आज तो छुपा लो तुम पनाहों में, कि डर है तुमको खो दूंगा। हाँ, दिल कहे संभल जरा, खुशी को ना नजर लगा, कि डर है मैं तो रो दूंगा। हाँ, करता हूँ सा वादे तुमसे, बांधे दिल के धागे तुमसे, तुम्हें न जाने क्या हुआ। खुदा जाने के मैं फिदा हूँ, खुदा जाने मैं मिट गया।
That cuts off abruptly. I wanted to listen to the full chorus, but okay, no worries. That was Shriyanshu. So what do you have to say, Angad?
I really like this. I think some of the things which I really liked. Firstly, कि Shriyanshu आपने track के साथ गाया है. Really
He's
good.
played
plus
the guitar,
points.
I think.
I was wondering, has he played? Because we couldn't see it in the frame,
Yeah.
but there's also a bass line going on पीछे.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I think so. There definitely is, like, कुछ तो है track के साथ भी है, and I don't know if it's a karaoke maybe, but there is, I heard a bass note there वहाँ पे, and of course I could hear the guitar. Really liked it. Tempo अच्छे से किया है आपने, and this variation जो हम अभी बात कर रहे थे, he's done that switch.
Yes.
जो मतलब जब chorus में हम पहुंच गए, like
Yes.
I'm sure you felt it too, ना कि
Definitely,
like
definitely.
whoa, okay, we are in the
Yeah,
chorus.
yeah, yeah.
आपकी आवाज एकदम अच्छे से project कर रही है. It's really, you know, bringing that part to life. So I mean, I really enjoyed this. Like great stuff.
Nice. Okay, so Shriyanshu, a couple of pointers which I would like to give you is, firstly, I mean, you have a really a listenable voice, as we call it. Like most people would like sort of want to listen to you,
Yeah.
right? And it is that, again, like this, I'm not using this in any derogatory way, but you have the typical Instagram singer's voice and like a modern pop star, right? Or like it's a blend between, I would say, 2000s Bollywood music with a touch of that modern pop star with that husky na 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 sort of that
Yes.
sensual, airy,
Yeah.
husky sort of a texture, which is really nice. You owned that part, definitely. And I was actually thinking in my mind, okay, if he doesn't go to his full voice, I would have to tell that point. But then you did go in the chorus, but we didn't get the full chorus. I just got 2 lines of it. So apart from that, you were doing it with a track, and that was, so you were on beat, and the tune also, the sur and the tal, both were pretty much spot on. A couple of pointers which I would like to give, because you are more of that breathy sort of a singer. I would say you fall under the baritone, which is the middle register in male singers. So you would be somewhere in the low to mid baritone range. And when you are relying a little more on that breathy texture, breath control becomes very, very, very important. Again, this is a slow song, so you wouldn't feel it that much. But imagine the same song was done at like 1.3x the speed, right? Na, 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 na. So you should be able to like have that breath economy where you have taken breaths at the right places, and so for that you need to train a little bit more on and why I'm telling you this is because I'm also a similar singer, especially with English pop music. I do use a lot of that breathy, airy texture, and even in my own songs I do that, so I can tell you where my problem points were. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Do your warm-ups. And one last thing which I would like to tell you is that when you did go to the chorus, the punch was really nice, but at a couple of notes, when you went to the topmost note, I could see that you were straining just a little bit. Maybe if the key was even 1 or 2 higher, 1 or 2 semitones higher, maybe you would have cracked, right? So to do that, what I would say, as I've mentioned before as well, is that don't push your larynx or your voice box, as we call it, down. Don't try to do because there's only a limit to which it can push down. Then you have that vacuum there and you can't really get out any note. So once you get that na 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 na, get that full texture and push air upwards, right? So that gives you that slightly nasal sound and you'll feel the vibrations here, but that is healthy technique rather than pushing down. So, and this is, again, I know because I faced the same issue being more of a breathy baritone singer, singing mainly pop music, and I figured that I couldn't go. Every time I would just like push it down, and then my vocal teacher actually told me start pushing air up. Even if you sound like Himesh Reshmiya, it's perfectly fine. But that's healthier technique, and in the long run, that's going to help you. Okay. Yeah. So thank you for sending that across. I guess the quality has been pretty good in today's session, man.
It's been amazing.
Okay, so the next entry is from, sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name again, it's Kitbok Lang from Shillong, Meghalaya. See, this is what I mean by we get entries from all over the country, right? This is what makes me the happiest. Okay, so this is exactly 1 minute long. So let's take a listen. classic fade out.
Ah. Love that touch.
Sangads, what do you think?
I liked it. I think it's very cool. One thing I wish I was a little bit cleaner in the recording, I guess, is कि I could hear your voice a little bit more clearly. But that's okay. I mean, sometimes we all make different kinds of recordings. Your guitar playing was nice. I guess कि आपने play किया है इसमें because the image was him holding a guitar. So I'm guessing कि आपने play किया है. It was good. I like the timing of it और जो rhythm आप ला रहे हो guitar के through. That was really nice. I think that was a good flavor. Vocals के हिसाब से I feel like there were some parts, I like your voice, but there were some parts कि you were holding it back, and I think this is the tip that you were saying with the breath and the throat, right?
More than breath, it's more of that open-mouthed approach.
Right.
That's the thing. So it just felt strained. It just felt
Ah.
like your voice wanted to come out more, but you were pressing it down.
Yeah.
So, I mean, again, as he mentioned, the guitar was way too loud. It wasn't mixed properly, but then again, at least you used an instrument, so props for that.
Yeah.
And the voice, again, it was pretty good. It has the potential to be taken to the next level, but what I would say is, again, it feels very compressed and suppressed. So let it out. Open throated approach is the best way. Open mouthed approach, as we call it. Instead of do even if it doesn't suit the song, it's fine. Just like try to experiment with these. That is when you know the potentials of your voice. And secondly, the cool thing is that I think this is a Khasi song, which is a dialect in Meghalaya.
That's what I was wondering. I was like, is ये Hindi hai ki what is happening? Because it was hard to hear the words as well because of the guitar. But
exactly.
I love it. I like to listen to
This is,
new
I think, the
folk songs.
first one which is from that language.
Nice, yeah. That's
So,
a cool one.
yeah, that's what we would like to say. I think we would like a better recording of your voice to give like a clearer this thing.
Yeah.
But even with that, I could sense that with your guitar playing, you did go flat a few places. So again, practice singing in key a little more. Maybe if you want to take a lower key, that's perfectly fine. Just do take it lower, do whatever you need to, but make sure you're hitting the correct notes, right? So that is the most important. Sur and tal, that is singing in tune and singing to a rhythm or a beat, right? So you have the beat part covered because you're playing guitar, so you can fasten or slow down. But even then, a metronome or a backing track would be a slightly better option. You can focus more on your singing as well. And then, as I said, open-mouthed approach, do a lot of the warm-ups. I think especially the lip trill and the yaya exercise we have on our channel, which is to open out your voice more and to improve your dynamics and like volume, like sing softer and then go louder. So it might look funny, but then again, you can please go and watch all of these. They'll definitely help you. And breath control is another thing, which is the basics that you can work on. You have the potential. I think you have the musical skill if you are playing the guitar and doing it. So just need to have a lot of touch-ups in all these areas. And I guess I'm looking forward to a clearer, better recording the next time from you.
Yeah, I would love to hear this folk song in a clearer recording.
Definitely.
You know, want to hear the lyrics भी गाने की क्या चल रहा है उसके अंदर.
True. So I guess, I mean, as we mentioned, the quality has been pretty good today, man. And the last one for today is Satyam from Jalandhar, Punjab. So let's take a listen to this. It's again 1 minute 10 seconds. So let's just play the whole thing.
रोम रोम तेरा नाम पुकारे एक हुए दिन रैन हमारे हमसे हम ही छिन गए जब से देखे नैन तिहारे.
Wow.
Wow, यार सच्ची में wow. It's like so cool.
What do you say, Angad?
I'm दो चीजें मुझे मतलब first of all obviously इतना अच्छा गाया है, super pleasing, loved your voice, और I mean it sounded like almost perfect execution किया है आपने. I'll point out two things which I liked. First कि you can just tell ना कि कभी-कभी some singer is visually there as much as the notes दिमाग में आते हैं. That first movement he took, I know he's following it, you know.
It also shows he's classically trained.
हाँ, exactly. Yeah, you know, this actually helps. मतलब it is
of course,
it is like that thing कि it kind of ties you into it. तो बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है क्योंकि देख के पता लग रहा है कि your body is there with your voice. You know, you're fully there, which is great thing. And second चीज ये this is something जो ज़्यादा लोग notice नहीं करते हैं. It's about the pauses. It's as important as the time you're singing.
Space is as important as the notes you sing.
Exactly. जो दो note के between में जो आप बीच में जो space आती है, to do that properly is equally important, and I think he did it beautifully. एकदम taking a pause at the right time. पता भी नहीं चल रहा है कि he's taken a breath और मतलब वो next note पे चले गए हैं, and I mean, I really loved it. It was beautiful. It's like almost goosebumps aa gaye.
Yeah, definitely. I think, I mean, in 13 episodes, this is one of the best entries we have got. So thank you, Satyam, for sending this across. And I mean, this just felt like a Coke Studio performance,
seriously.
right? And the other thing I really liked was you used the Tanpura, the drone note, or the Shruti box as we call it here. And you've used that, and then you're sticking to the pitch. The sur tal, everything was pretty much spot on, and the control in those vibratos or the harkats, right? So those, like, I mean, this was a classic example of that. And the other thing, there is something with Punjabi singers, I've observed this. I'm also slightly envious about this, is that all of them have at least most Punjabi singers I've listened to have a naturally high voice. I don't know how. I really like, if like there are 9 out of 10 Punjabi singers, 10 singers, 9 of them have that high voice where they don't, it doesn't feel like it's flipping to falsetto or anything.
It doesn't even become thin. It's
slightly thin, but it's still bright enough.
Yeah, exactly.
So
it's
I mean,
got that fullness.
I guess it's something to do with like what the gurus in Punjab are teaching you guys. But then again, you can definitely look beyond that folky classical touch. I mean, Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan ji is one of the greatest, and I think apart from that style, you can also definitely, I mean, this is only a suggestion, apart from doing the warm-ups and breath control, because I'm telling you this only because I know classically trained singers, especially Indian classical, they don't focus too much on this, right? And they also don't focus too much on like your full range. They fix a scale,
correct, yeah.
and they sing in that scale throughout. So if there are any suggestions, not necessarily feedback I can give you, are these: do breath control exercises, do a lot of these warm-ups. You can only gain from them. There's nothing to lose. And lastly, work with different parts of your range. Maybe with this voice, this style is suiting you. What if you sing a rocky Vishal Dadlani song, right? What if, I would love to listen, what if you sing a very like, what do you say, vulnerable Sonu Nigam sort of a song,
right?
And what if you try to sing like that very thin Sid Sriram type of a song, right? So these things are things which you can experiment with, and I guess the scales also you can choose accordingly, and then see where all your voice can go. Apart from this one territory which you're exceptional at, where else can you go, right? So because versatility is a great skill to have. I'm not saying I'm the most versatile singer. I'm not saying like everyone has to be versatile, but because you're already so talented, that is something you can look at. So
it's like next step में आपको क्या करना चाहिए? That could be something, you may find something surprising yourself, you know?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. So Satyam, thank you so much for sending that across. So we are at the end of the session, guys. And as promised, I think you can get ready with your screen recorder.
Yes.
So, okay. So, screen recording. Cool. So, this is basically the Tanpura app that Angad is using. If at all, for anyone who's sort of confused, right? So, you can just select the scale that you can sing in. Just a quick tip: most guys can sing in C, and most ladies can sing in around G to A. That is the classical ranges which are given.
अगर आपको नहीं पता है तो start with that. You know, that's where you
exactly.
start
That's
from,
where you start, and then go lower or higher depending on what you want to do. And then just select the pa note below. If you see there, the middle note. Why I'm saying that is usually in classical music, we call this the perfect fifth.
Yes.
The sa pa sa pa sa pa sa. Right, so pa would be a great starting point. Now I'm just playing it on C so that I'll just give the drone, and then Angad just try to sing a sarigama padanisa sanida pa magarisa on it.
Yeah.
So let's just ingrain the
Sa re ga ma pa dha ni sa ni dha. कुछ नहीं होता. कभी कभी you get a thing. No worries, just stop and reset. Sa ni dha pa ma ga re sa.
See, this allows you to be on pitch and very well sung. So now, just like quickly show them with a metronome maybe.
हाँ, तो basically अगर let's talk about the process for a second. अगर आपको for example मैं और ऊंचा चले जाता हूँ. Let's try to wait, this app doesn't have a higher one. अगर इस scale से आप ऊपर चले जा रहे हो and आपको तब पता चलेगा कि कौन सी स्केल आपके लिए हाई है. अगर आप जा रहे हो सा रे गा मा पा धा ध या नी तक अगर आपकी आवाज क्रैक हो रही है, वेर यू लाइक धा नी, या फिर स्ट्रेन आ रहा है ना, मुश्किल हो रहा है, दैट्स व्हेन यू नो कि ये आपके लिए इट्स टू हाई. सेम थिंग अगर आप लोअर पे जा रहे हो तो सा से ही पता चल जाएगा. अगर लाइक लेट्स ट्राई लो, वी कैन शो देम कि एफ शार्प में हम सा, और आई कांट इवन हिट द सा clearly. Exactly.
That's almost like at the lowest part of my range.
Exactly. So we can't really sing with that. So तब आपको पता है कि this is too low for you. So come back up. So it's a process of experimentation. The more you try a little bit higher and lower, you'll get to know what's the most comfortable thing for you.
Right.
And if we try this with a metronome, let's open the metronome app. Maybe let's explain what the metronome is. I'll set it to
4 beats. Yeah, so most songs are in 4 beats anyway, guys, and you can just select whatever BPM you want, that is beats per minute. That's basically the speed of the rhythm, right? Like how your car speed is in kilometers per hour, a rhythm speed is in beats per minute. So and we have 4 beats per bar is the usual setting because most music is in 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And 1 click per beat because you just want 1 click. There's no point of having 2 clicks. You're just singing along with it. And then, that's pretty much it. So let's just try it at 60. So Angad, will this work with the...
Yeah, this should work with the thing. Let's try both. Keep it off here, I was going to say, so that the...
So if you guys are not able to hear the metronome, it's a tuck, 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 tuck. It's a click going on in the back. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So try singing with the beat.
Yeah. Sa re ga ma pa dha ni sa ni dha pa ma ga re sa.
So this is basically the basic example of, you can pause it now, singing in sur with a reference, that is the Tanpura, and also to a beat, that is with the metronome or the click track. So guys, that's it for today's session. Angad, thank you so much again for being here. It's a pleasure. Yeah.
Jinx.
So cool, guys. We'll see you in the next week again on Friday at 5 p.m. for the next Feedback Friday session. And go to the description if you want to submit your track to us. Okay? Fine then, until then, keep singing. Take care. Bye-bye.